Best Ball Mania, $25 to win $3 million. I'm Shaun Moran. That's Keegan Thompson, and that's Aidan Haller. Aidan's not playing for the Cubs. Decked out in the pinstripes and the hat. Aidan, you're going to a Cubs game.
I will be out there.
You go to a Cubs game tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to the final game of the Padres-Cubs series.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's jump in. Keegan, we caught some flack from a couple of our subscribers. They said let's go to dark mode. Are we staying on light mode? What's your take here?
My only rebuttal on that is I'm going to let the light mode rip, but it is, if you're going to be in the internet game and you're going to put stuff out for people to visually see, you have to think of all visual tendencies from everybody. And light mode is statistically better and more accessible for people of various different visual capabilities. It's why people screen share or like do screenshots of Twitter on light mode rather than dark mode. It's just easier for everybody to read. I get it. I like dark mode too, but I'm just trying to think of everybody and be inclusive to all visual settings for everybody out there. So apologies for the dark mode people out there.
Wow. That was a really
filling in here,
thought out explanation. I hope you have that kind of thought process when you're thinking about how we're going to stack and which teams we're going to stack. And you know, your idea of week 17 correlation, I hope you're thinking about it as thoughtfully as you did with light mode versus dark mode. And if you haven't listened to our first draft, we posted that early last week. We started with Cooper Kupp. We built out a pretty nasty Bills stack. You should take a look at it if you had a chance. Definitely watch this one. This team's going to be even better. We're actually going to finish first and second in Best Ball Mania with both of these rosters. But when we're talking about week 17 correlation, when we're talking about stacks, when we're talking about ADP value, it's going to be through this whole entire video. So everything in terms of player takes, it's all going to be there. So this is going to cover everything you could be looking for. In terms of where we want to draft from, I personally think Underdog has a vendetta against me if this is anywhere in the 11 to 12 range. I have taken
you two specifically.
It's crazy.
I have taken so much Amon-Ra St. Brown and Travis Etienne. Like, I just need to stop. And it's the only thing you can take from that range, in my opinion, in terms of like you stack wide receiver. Oh, let's go. All right, we're filled.
Position.
Give us a good pick.
God.
Is Keegan our good luck?
9.
Oh my God.
At least this will look very different than our first draft for our viewers. So we're going to have a very different team.
I'm going to get out ahead of this and say maybe we just shoot for a AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts stack. Maybe something like that. Shaun looks miserable already.
I haven't drafted above 8 in so long. My first draft was 4, and everything after that has been like 8 or 9 and beyond. It's actual torture.
We're gonna have some good opportunities here to go running back, wide receiver. Receiver, running back. We could go Hurts stack, but there's not a lot of compelling evidence that taking a quarterback in round 2 works. Like, it's.
I don't love it personally.
A lot of this is.
If I'm looking at this board by myself right now, I'm gonna go ahead and queue up 3 players that I would love at 9.
You're not going to hear me disagree with
if it shakes out that way, great. But yeah, these are 3 players I'm already just preparing for at 9, and I could go any way here. This is also a good position to do one of these hero RB builds that I did recently, where we just get 2 running backs right off the bat and build that way. But let's see what happens in these next couple picks. First 3, Jefferson, Chase, Hill.
Pretty chalk so far.
Of that. Yeah.
That's borderline robust.
They've taken
2
2
running backs to jump. That's a robust. Like, your dad is probably juiced if he sees
and then
2
just knock it out, and then you go with the Yeah,
you don't have to worry about running back.
Remember,
you go pick
half
up your
PPR.
third
These
one.
touchdowns matter.
They do. They do. So if you get a receiving running back in particular with crazy volume, if only there's a receiving running back who gets a ton of volume on the board.
That is sitting in our queue potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
AJ Brown at 6.
AJ
7.
Brown at 6 is gross. So that person's just trying to stack with Hurts on the other end. That's my only take.
I would think so.
Now, if Diggs is here at 9, like, how do we feel about Diggs? Hopkins news potentially looming for the Bills.
I think I'd rather get one of these running backs.
I would too.
We also did a Josh Allen stack last time.
Eckler.
Oh, we put in our hands in Artie's hands here. This is tough.
CD, I like here as well.
I like CD over Diggs, but I'd be very okay with taking Bijan.
I think Bijan's the pick.
Yeah, I think
let's do it. Too. I don't know if I actually have a single Bijan best ball.
I've got a ton. Me and Shaun probably both have a ton.
I have a decent amount of Bijan. I've really tried to be careful about putting too much of my mental health in Arthur Smith's hands. Like, I splash a little Kyle Pitts here. I splash a little Bijan. I've been kind of shying away from Drake London. I think Kyle Pitts is the target hog in that offense, and I love London, but I think London's more of a wide receiver too in 2023 unless injuries happen.
Yeah,
because if London...
we're coming back up quickly here.
Oh, yeah, we are. Ooh.
Jalen
Waddle. I would have probably gone with
I like Waddle or Wilson here.
Okay. We want to go with a wide receiver here?
I'd prefer wide receiver.
I mean, we could Garrett Wilson.
Wilson. I'm down. I don't have a share of that either.
Let's do it.
Let's do Garrett Wilson.
Let's do Garrett Wilson.
This is another one where it feels like they're both great picks. Like, it's kind of just like flip a coin with those two.
Oh, wow. We went with the sexy build. We could have gotten our hard hats on and, went with Diggs and, like,
we could have done a Diggs and Barkley or something.
Yeah. We could have gone much safer, but we just went pure sexiest names in fantasy right
shiny
now.
Toy.
Yeah. Oh, shame on us. Bijan and Wilson, this is like hey, bro.
Yeah, you said Keegan was brave. Yeah, look at us go,
bro,
man.
There's this wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, bro. You got to check him out. Garrett Wilson, he's going to ball out. New quarterback. Sometimes it's the most obvious one, though.
Kind of an under-the-radar name.
Have you guys heard some rumors that that Bijan's role is just going to be kind of a similar role to what Cordero Patterson had?
I saw that. There's no fucking chance you take an RB that high of his talent. No.
But this is Arthur Smith.
If we're
you can't.
If we were playing factor bullshit here, that would be.
If it's like a souped up version of Cordell Patterson, I'm on game for that because Cordell was smashing in fantasy, honestly, in that role. So if it's a souped up version,
on efficiency though.
Yeah,
dude, I was watching some Cordell Patterson college highlights the other day. I kind of went down the wormhole.
Dude,
oh my god,
me too.
It was awesome.
Imagine.
I kind of forget, it's crazy.
I was feeling things.
Line just running circles around people. I was like, this is hot.
I had to take a shower. I was like, I'm struggling
dirty
right near. Yeah, I need to splash some cold water in my face watching CPAT highlights. It was just end arounds, and he'd break 2 tackles, and it was just,
dude, it was crazy.
Electric.
And then, the occasional 60-yard bomb just because he's 5 yards behind the corner.
Real quickly here, just for the viewers, what we were talking about with these kind of more sexy unknown picks. Bijan, obviously rookie. Garrett Wilson only going to a second year. We could have easily ended up with a Diggs, Barkley build, a Diggs, Pollard build, CD, Pollard build. There's definitely more experienced players with proven fantasy output we could have taken here, but I'm down to take some flyers on some potential sexy picks here.
This is a sexy build. We're just going to leave it at that.
These are fun. I just realized that guy took T. Higgins and Jamar. That is...
it's pretty... I'm starting to see some...
He's going for that Burrow stuff.
I've seen that happen quite a bit.
He wants it all.
Okay. I mean, there is some guys here that are some absolute dogs. I'm starting to shy away a little bit from Josh Jacobs and the Raiders in general. Josh Jacobs' volume will be there, but I'm just a little nervous about how that offense is going to be. I also think of Derrick Henry, who will play the Houston Texans twice during the fantasy football playoffs. There he goes.
Okay, yeah, there he goes. I was going to say, if by the grace of God he's there at 33, smash it immediately. But
I'd hold my breath on that. I'd get really excited at the idea of DK Metcalf here, because we can stack him with Geno Smith relatively cheap. later on.
I'm cool with that as well.
I like stacking with the cheaper QBs personally. That's why I love ARSB, Shaun, is because I'm not worried about getting Goff. It's I'm gonna get Goff down there. I like those stacks more personally.
We could also do a Rodgers and Geno QB room to stack with our top two wide receivers. It's very doable from this position.
DK is there. Let's absolutely do that.
He's sliding a little bit.
I feel very safe just going with 2 QBs at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think we would need a third.
There's also the Brees same team correlation here. Load in on the
or we could get weird. We get weird and go Ridley and
go
then
Lamar.
ETN.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lamar.
I mean, DK, come on. Oh, he's going to take DK. He's going to.
He has
zero wide receivers.
Maybe he likes
unless he's doing the Keegan strat. He's doing the Keegan strat and taking Brees.
It's kind of fun, dude. Build a little running back room that's a little crazy and just go hard on wide receivers after.
Give it to me. Come on, DK.
Okay, I'll take that.
DK smash. Let's go. We deserve that.
Oh, I might take my shirt off. I might take my shirt off.
That was
for DK.
badass. That was badass.
Oh my goodness, I'm out of breath. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Okay.
Real quickly here, 6 more picks.
Now we're back on the clock.
This is a zone of wide receivers and running backs that I am pretty whatever on. Feel like I kind of would just go best available at ADP almost.
ETN would just create the pure shiny toy Team Sex narrative if he was there. I don't expect him to be.
I don't know. Wow, that guy has 0.
Gibbs.
He's go 4 wideouts.
Gibbs is an opportunity
with
here.
Hopkins.
Yeah,
wow, dude.
We've been seeing
the 12 slot did that last time.
I've been seeing more 4 wide receiver straight builds. I guess you're fine. You're taking Dameon Pierce and J.K. Dobbins in the 6th and 7th.
I love Dameon Pierce there, to be honest. Okay, Keegan, let's take a look at our board. Let's see. What are we looking at?
Fields.
You want to go a little bit above on Fields?
I love Fields.
You don't have to talk me into Justin Fields.
I love Fields.
Before we select Fields, I'm not opposed to that, but let's explain that for the people who might be wondering why we would do this.
13 seconds.
I already have him queued up.
Okay.
But basically, in selecting Fields here, it's we're locking in upside rushing quarterback that can provide us with some touchdowns on the ground. We think he's going to step up. Yeah. And we're opting out of adding another running back there. I would have taken Gibbs, I think, as well, probably over the other wide receivers. But another reason is this is a cheap stack for wide receiver room down the line. There is, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, and we still have an option to secure in a stack of both of our top wide receivers that we have without the pressure of having to do both. So I think Fields is still a good pick there, slightly above his ADP.
Our team is sick.
It is just pure shiny toy.
Alpha.
Pure shiny toy.
Fucking alphas, dude.
I think something to keep in mind with Fields, and again, opportunity cost. We don't take Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, I can live with that if Gibbs is really good. Jerry Jeudy, we already have exposure to Jerry Jeudy. Christian Watson, I'm probably in the fan club. I don't know if I'm in the executive committee, but I've applied several times to be a part of the fan club. Very high on both those players. But in terms of opportunity costs, Fields has just this really nice, I think, balance of ceiling and floor that's really hard to find. And I think that there is a huge difference in Justin Fields in the 3rd round than it is in the 4th round. And I think we've been able to build a pretty solid foundation in running back, 2 stud wide receivers in Fields. And this allows us to really prioritize best player available outside of probably the quarterback position. Tell me maybe get to Geno Smith or Aaron Rodgers, which makes a logistic stack opportunity. So if you look at some of the stats with PFF last year with Justin Fields, right? And we're trying to win best balls. So that means we need spike weeks. Spike weeks are currency in this game. Justin Fields from week 7 to week 13, which is basically when they unleashed him as a running quarterback. He had 4 top 5 finishes in 5 games. 5th, 1st, 1st, and 5th. He basically was fantasy relevant from week 6 to week 17 of last year and was QB2 during that process. This was with one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL.
And offensive
line.
And
offensive line. They beefed up that O-line. They beefed up that receiving core. Year 2 with a good OC. He actually, I think, is going to be given a solid foundation to work off of. I just think Fields is one of my favorite picks in all of fantasy. So, yeah, we reached a couple spots, but I just love it.
I think outside of just all the things you said about spike weeks is we want to build some rosters that are different here. I can go look at this Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow roster, and I've seen that. I've seen that in the drafts.
I've seen a million of those.
These CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra rosters, I've seen that a million times. I've even seen these 4 wide receiver builds. You want you're playing for $3 million in these tournaments. You're playing against so many people. Eventually, you have to start adding some differentiation to your rosters as well too. And this is a build that I don't have anywhere. So
Keegan, I don't want to interrupt you, but can you go back to the board real quick? You're making really good points, but back to the whole board in terms of
we're 4 picks away.
Yeah, but check. I want to show something for our listeners here. Somebody legitimately has a 2 tight end, 2 QB build going right now. They have a
just real
Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, and 20 TJ Hawk.
That's a bold move, Cotton. No, dude. How did you? I did not see that.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's insanity.
Okay, let's see. So,
Dobbins is interesting.
Kenneth Walker will be off the board.
Dobbins is
We're not touching Michael Pittman.
I'd rather wait for the wide receivers to fall to us because this is in our short range of wraparound, so we're only waiting 6 picks. So I'd rather grab hopefully Dobbins here, but this guy doesn't have any running backs. Dobbins as my RB2 feels pretty safe in these underdog drafts because he's a year again removed from injury. Their offense is only better than it was last year. I definitely like him as my second running back option in these drafts. But we've got
I do too.
He finished the year really strong too.
Oh, okay. The guy with no running box went wide receiver.
Give me Jackson Smith and Jigba on our next wraparound, and then we have the Geno, Jackson Smith and Jigba and DK stack.
Yeah, I would need new shorts.
Okay, so here's a question for you, Shaun. Do you like that more than getting the running back now? Because there's a good chance that his 60 ADP doesn't come back to us. What do you prioritize?
No, but we have Lockett. But we have Lockett too. So I think we have Lockett and JSN to both go after. And we have Ayuk, who we love.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'd rather get Dobbins here.
Okay. Yeah. And then
potentially get Lockett instead if Jason is gone.
I like that. And
I do love Dameon Pierce,
explaining all that. Yep.
I do love Dameon Pierce.
His value is really nice. I've been drafting more of him recently.
We've got 2 guys in front of us that also have 4 wide receivers drafted already. We're probably going to get either Jackson or Lockett if we really want to. So Pierce is probably gone. Sure. Sanders is probably gone by the time it gets back to us.
Kyle Pitts correlation
this happened literally last time
is on the table. Kyle Pitts correlation is. Oh, we already have Fields and Bijan correlation.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, baby. I love it. Correlation. This is for our followers, week 17 correlation. So if you make it to the playoffs, it basically turns into a DFS matchup. And as a lot of you probably already know, when you play DFS, you want to have stacking. So you just want to pick high scoring games, have the players in those games. Say you have a quarterback with a wrap back wide receiver. What are we thinking?
We're hoping for JSN here.
We're going JSN over Lockett.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I'm not fading Lockett by any means, but we're building a fun team. So
yeah, let's do JSN.
I like JSN,
especially because we already have DK, and I would rather it be DK plus JSN or Lockett plus JSN, not Lockett.
We got to pick a boring name here. I'm with you, Keegan. But we got to pick a boring name. This is insane. We're gonna get laughed out of the room.
That guy might have picked that, but
I love Ayuk, but stacking this is probably the play. Yeah.
Oh, I'm hurt.
Yeah,
I'm hurt by that one.
It was right there. It was
okay. Well, Lockett's a boring name. So we're beating the allegations.
Yeah. All he does is overproduce his ADP every year. It's so boring, but it's like, Tyler Lockett is another 10 positions above ADP.
Crush. If we went Kyle Pitts, we would have just had a nightmare squad. Like literally just praying to Arthur Smith, which is just...
That would be the disgusting brothers for sure. Like that would definitely be us. That would be the final step into us being the disgusting brothers.
Okay, I don't think I finished explaining week 17 correlations. So again, what I was talking about with Fields and Bijan is if Fields is having a high scoring game because of Bijan's ability to be a wide receiver and just the ability for him to score touchdowns, it's pretty likely as the Falcons are trying to catch up or the Bears are trying to catch up that both of these guys are going to score points in tandem together, which is that positive correlation for week 17. So I wouldn't say week 17 correlation should be the factor in how you build out a team, but it operates as a really good tiebreaker if you're trying to pick between two players that are pretty similar in your profile. Like I'd say stacking players is more important than week 17 correlation stacks.
Yeah, because
you guys agree on that?
Yeah, because you have to get to the playoffs at first, right? Yeah. So like first of all, your first order of duty is kind of like, let's give me a team that will give me a bunch of points weeks 1 through 14 and push me on to the next round. And I honestly totally forgot about the Falcons Bears matchup in the week 17 because I haven't drafted a ton of Falcons or Bears players yet on rosters. So that was kind of a good grab there. I didn't even realize that. But usually I'm looking at those kinds of like week like matchup correlations late in like 13 through 17, the rounds at least.
A good matchup correlation with the Jets.
Seattle's got a good one, right?
Steelers
against the
Steelers. Jets and Cleveland play week 17, which is one that I've been doing a lot of.
Njoku. Because I think tight end correlation makes a ton of sense to bring it in. So you have a Freiermuth on the table. You have a David Njoku. And you could even do backdoor like quarterback stacking with like Watson or I mean Kenny Pickett's cheap. He's cheap for a reason, but I don't think we're going to need more than two quarterbacks if we have Fields. I think because we went up and got him in the fourth, we don't
with Fields and Geno, we've got a really strong quarterback room. Yeah. I don't think we need a third one.
I think Geno's our guy.
Yeah.
Geno's our guy.
What's Geno's ADP just so it doesn't sneak up on us?
I think like 115.
115. Yep.
I haven't been doing this. I haven't been doing a lot of these.
Yeah. Shaun hasn't seen the sun in weeks.
All right.
George Pickens. Awesome. I don't love Pickens, but I mean that's the correlation, right? Like
I would rather have Dotson over Pickens. I think any day of the week here.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that high on. Sam Howell's number
pretty
2.
High on Dotson, but I think I'd rather have Pickens. You could argue Pickens is the number 2 also, though.
I could also argue that I don't believe in the Steelers' passing game offense, and I do think Pickens is great at point of catch balls and potential red zone target, but we're all
I don't really believe in either quarterback, so like I'm having trouble selling myself on either.
I love QJ. QJ is just staring us in the face too, or he just go? Yeah, he was fine.
He just went.
I'm thinking wide receiver here because I already like our 2 running backs.
Yes,
but Brandon Cooks, Jahan Dotson, or George Pickens.
I mean, we're getting 8 picks of ADP on Pickens, and I mean 8 picks of ADP. We get the correlation with the Steelers.
I think I lean Pickens.
I don't love it, but. Yeah,
But for our wide receiver 4, though, I actually do love him as our wide receiver 4. Like 8 picks past ADP. It feels like the value is too good to pass up on that.
This is just the shiny toy team. This is foul. We just took Pickens, who's like the shiniest toy. Keegan, I don't feel that good about it either, dude. I don't.
Yeah, I feel a little gross.
Keegan is shaky his head.
Dude, disgust. I mean, if we run the fantasy, I run our Twitter account a lot of the times, and I put out a tweet being like, "Yeah, Deontay Johnson's better than George Pickens," but like. Who cares? It's a low passing volume offense, and like Kenny Pickett's the quarterback. So I personally don't feel great about the Pickens spot, but after learning all that information about ADP drafting, about how drafters that draft value at ADP or stick to ADP typically do really well, I feel like it's just kind of a no-brainer. And then we might get Dotson. You might get him right here.
I
also see Pickens as more of like
Man,
those spike weeks, in my opinion, too. Whereas I think DJ's probably a safer floor. I do see Pickens with a much higher ceiling, especially on a week-to-week basis.
Another player on this board here for some Week 17 correlation purposes is Elijah Moore. We'd be picking him 2 spots ahead of ADP, but that's Cleveland Jets right here.
Dotson is still here.
I kind of like Moore, but let's do Dotson. Let's do that's 11 spots of ADP. Let's do it.
With our wide receiver. Then we've got a really strong wide receiver room.
Now we go get Geno, and now we just focus on running back.
I'm in.
And we can get Njoku too, Keegan. We could do Geno and Njoku if we want to do that. Yeah, I really like Njoku.
That was a really nice wrap for us there in terms of value on both of those. Well, that's combined 15 spots on ADP that we got on.
Yeah,
with Dotson and Pickens there. It was.
I think the conversation between Dotson and Pickens also for me comes down to I'm going to say something that might sound wrong, but I see Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett as equals, and maybe Sam Howell actually might be better. I also believe in Eric Bieniemy more as an offensive coordinator to get touches for Dotson, who was really good last year. So I
don't think that's crazy at all. I like it.
The case against Dotson, hyper efficient with limited target share. He's the wide receiver 2 in an offense with Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett. But you're right. Maybe Eric Bieniemy is a good OC. Their offensive line is solid. They have Jacoby Brissett, which is a really nice insurance on Sam Howell. And I think a lot of tape bros that watch a ton of tape really like Dotson. They think he's an excellent wide receiver. So
and if you think of
as a dynasty owner, I'm a big Dotson.
If you just go back to last year for some historical context, Amari Cooper was very fantasy relevant with Jacoby Brissett. Donovan Peoples-Jones was a good waiver wire pickup and had some awesome spike weeks under Jacoby Brissett. And Dotson and McLaurin as a combined group are better than that combined group. I'm not saying individually like Amari Cooper, but I mean, that's a good wide receiver group.
I agree. I agree.
Yes.
I think of Curtis Samuel in there too. That's actually a pretty
great wide receiver.
So are we taking Sam Howell? So we do.
I don't think
a greedy Sam Howell stack.
He honestly looked good in week 18.
He looked like
back
Baker.
To Keegan's point, I could definitely see him outplaying Kenny Pickett. He was better in college than Kenny Pickett.
There we go.
It wouldn't be insane.
There we go.
He was good in those powder blues at UNC.
He was better. We all know because of Mitch. You're just looking at Mitch Trubisky, the chosen one. You just have an affinity for him.
I want to talk to you guys real quick. There is a 0 QB team, a 1 QB team, a 2 QB team, a 1 QB team in front of us. And then after it's still 0, 1, 0, 0. We've got
a couple of these QBs should go.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a chance where I do this in drafts, and I'm looking at my stacks and I'm like, we really have invested in Seattle right now. And I might just go ahead and take Geno right away to secure it. There's a bunch of players on here.
Unless 0 QBs go in this next range, but to your point, it's to secure the QB. We're already this deep in the stack to get sniped because we needed our running back 3 or wide receiver 6.
There are 4 teams without a QB picking right after us here. Before our next
Geno. Yeah, we should take Geno.
I think we have to take Geno. There are, 4. There's 4 QBs.
We're gonna need to hammer running back though,
and one of the teams being JSN is right after us.
Yeah, we should take Geno. But we
need to take Geno.
Running back. It's going to be between Charbonnet, AJ Dillon. I love A-Chain, but the Dalvin Cook news doesn't. It just really makes it murky.
I'd rather have Rashad Penny out of that group of guys.
Oh. I love Rashad Penny.
I'm not opposed to that.
I love Rashad Penny.
I'm definitely not opposed
if he can stay healthy, he's such a better runner.
Charbo is very interesting.
We're just all in on the Seahawks.
It's a damn good offense. It's not the worst thing to kind of hit your wagon to.
That division sucks too. They're going to play the Cardinals twice, and they're going to play the Rams twice. And those defenses aren't good. Sure, those weeks where they play the Niners are going to be brutal, but you just know
the Rams are going to stink.
You just know.
Oh my God!
Pissed that we took Geno. He's pissed.
thought it got sniped before us, dude. I just looked down and had a heart attack.
So he has Nick Chubb, Brees Hall, James Conner. Keep going. Who is it?
Stopped.
Diggs, Keenan Allen. Oh, he's so fucked. He's gonna do the like back end Purdy stack at the end. Aidan, you good, bro?
I'm out of breath. That was fucking terrifying.
We need to get Aidan some therapy.
There's no way. Yeah, I need help.
Oh, Antonio Gibson is kind of weird. We're getting weird. We have running back options.
Like this running back range.
I kind of like, dude. I'm not gonna lie. There's some good value right here that I could be talked into.
Absolutely.
I could be talked into any four of these guys. Charbonnet would be the ADP pick because he's 10 spots after ADP. And look, those two guys.
We've already got the entire offense.
Those two guys that one guy took back-to-back quarterbacks that had 0 there. So
there's going to be a QB that goes to either this guy or the next one, you would think.
Lazard.
Okay. If Charbonet's there, hammer.
What a boring pick.
We're getting such good value again. This is 2 drafts in a row where I feel like the board is kind of talking to us like Keegan said last time. It's okay. We're having a really good dialogue with the board.
Let's talk this out. 25 seconds. Charbonnet, obvious team stack. He's also got an opportunity to get some goal line touches because we know Kenneth Walker is not that exact build. A-Chain, unknown. Penny, injury prone. And then Gibson. Well, we all know what Gibson is at this point.
You got to go stack.
Yeah, we kind of know what his ceiling is. It's safe. He's probably going to get decent volume.
Let's do it. Let's do the Seahawks stack. This is nasty. As a Niner fan, this is fucked up.
We've got 2 rookie running backs, bro. We are absolute madness.
Oh,
this is awesome.
I forgot Bijan's who we're anchoring to. Arthur Smith, if you are listening, please don't do it, Arthur. Arthur, if I see Tyler Algier with a single game over 15 carries, I'm going to need to be reported to the authorities ahead of time.
I mean, if you look at some other of these teams just in the lobby alone, if you're looking at team 3 here, who went Tyreek, Devonta, Jalen Hurts, Mike Williams, Drake London, he's got Alexander Madison, Rashad White, James Cook, and Brian Robinson. And I'd take our running back room over that right now between Dobbins, Charbonnet, and Bijan. And, we can go back and forth on drafting rookie running backs, but I think just taking the value with how we built out our wide receivers and where we got a quarterback, I think we still ended up with 3 pretty solid options for running backs. And if Bijan is who we think he's going to be and plays to what everybody is assuming he will play to, like we'll look back and we'll be like, yeah, that was a no-brainer, That
was a no-brainer. Yeah, we'll be using his score every week.
Yeah, we've got some opportunities too with the Bears to where we can go get a Dante Foreman. We could go get a Roschon Johnson and just get really weird, like really rookie weird. There's a lot on the board.
That running back room is so.
Talk to us about that, Aidan.
What do you at this point in the off season? To be like, I think they should move Herbert or Foreman, which isn't going to happen because there's too many guys in there to like get high volume touches for any of them. I think Khalil Herbert is definitely like the workhorse to open the year up because they've also got Travis Homer there too, who might get a couple touches here and there, mostly a special teams player. But in terms of like best overall running back, it's definitely Roschon Johnson. So I don't know. We'll see. I see Foreman as the odd man out in terms of who do I think is going to get the least amount of carries out of those 3, but it's early June. Like I have no idea what that running back is actually going to look like come September.
Herbert's one of those guys who is just ultra efficient. So when you look at his like advanced metrics, like rushing yards over expected, like breakaway run rate, like he crushes those advanced metrics. So is it one of those guys where he gets an increased opportunity and he looks really good, or is he like a mix-in back that's just really good?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's kind of a mediocre pass blocker, which is kind of the biggest knock on him. So like typically not a 3-down running back, which again I think Foreman and Johnson are much stronger at, especially Roschon, very good pass blocker. So again, I see Herbert getting the majority of the touches early, but if by the end of the year Roschon's their RB1, I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever. Which again is when you want those scores, at the end of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Coming up here, 4 picks, we've got an opportunity to do some more Bear stacks. We also have a Commanders-Niners matchup in Week 17. We're a little slim on the running back room right now. I think Elijah Mitchell is like a screaming good value in these drafts because when healthy, Shaun, you can speak to this. Like this workload is not 100% Christian McCaffrey. Like Elijah Mitchell will get used in this offense and will have a place in it. And that's an offense that I kind of want some attachment to. Khalil Herbert, for all the reasons we just talked about, we don't really know what his full role is. Like I kind of know exactly what I'm getting out of Elijah Mitchell. Now, the other flip side is Khalil Herbert could be the workhorse, and we could be getting a potential workhorse running back here in the 11th, almost 12th round, as somebody has just keyed on and taken.
Okay. So there goes Herbert.
I like Mitchell here.
Who went up? Sky Moore. Wow. Yeah, I think it's Mitchell or the Saints running backs. We haven't had a chance to really process that, but I mean, Jamaal Williams is going to get the first crack at the starting job when Kamara gets suspended. I mean, I'm like thinking that, but in terms of we're trying to win Best Ball Mania, if anything happens to CMC, like Elijah Mitchell's a lottery ticket, and CMC, 8-year-old running back, high usage.
Dude.
That's tough. Okay, we need to think here.
Oh my God, that was like getting socked in the balls.
Do we really want to take our 6th running back? Do we want? I mean, our 6th wide receiver.
I think Jamaal Williams is a good move here. I think running back makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of random,
I think we go Jamaal here.
Yeah,
that was a kick to the nuts having both of our options taken in 3 picks.
Oh, I forgot what it feels like to get snipes like that. It
happens
really
to me every time.
You got to get off. You got to get back off the mat. It's tough.
Cole Kmet would be interesting here.
Oh, we don't have a tight
for
end.
The stack with Fields.
Where's Greg Dulcich?
It's just above. Where's our darling? There he is.
Oh, Gregory. I'd do anything for Greg.
I like Dulcich's upside way more than Kmet personally, but in terms of stacking,
it's also about like what we're going to be. We don't have a really good tight end yet. We have 4 running backs. We have 5 wide receivers. QBs are done. We're not going to be up for 16 more picks once we're up. So I'm okay with going tight end here. If we like Dulcich, it's a bit of a reach. Not crazy, but like
Mooney's right there too. I mean and we could just go lay round tight end and kind of piece it together.
You could scoop up Noah Fant in the late rounds. There's
Mooney. Let's see who goes here.
Mooney or Dulcich. Aidan.
I'd almost rather have Dulcich and get Claypool late.
Let's do it.
I see a world, to be honest, where Claypool finishes as their wide receiver too. I think it's a bit of a hunch. Obviously Claypool didn't perform very well last year. He was a little injured. Fields was a little injured. Didn't know the playbook. But Claypool was awesome his first years in Pittsburgh. I feel like people have completely like thrown that out.
Touchdowns.
He's still 24 years old.
Claypool is a touchdown guy. You love to see it.
And he's gonna like give you those spike weeks too, though. I remember the year like Keegan on him, and he had like that 3 touchdown game. And I was just like,
as a rookie,
this is insane.
Yeah, Claypool.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
Claypool was really electric as a rookie.
And Claypool's price just like makes more sense. Because you could flip a coin, like who's the wide receiver too? Is it Mooney or Claypool? I don't know, but would you rather get Mooney at roughly 125 or Claypool around 200? I don't know. I think Claypool makes more sense there.
I agree in terms of opportunity costs. Claypool basically has none. And I honestly think if we're thinking end of the offseason, Greg Dulcich being drafted in the 140s, 130s, I think his ADP is going to rise. Like you see Sean Payton called him a joker position, which is a good receiver who takes advantages of mismatches.
I did see that.
Do you see who else he referred to as jokers before that he's coached?
What was it? Kamara.
Reggie Bush and Alvin Kamara. That's who he compared Greg Dulcich to. I did not have that on my bingo card in the offseason. Greg Dulcich gets the Reggie Bush comp. But if that's what we're hearing out of camp from Sean Payton, again, it's just bullshit, off-season noise. But I think it's worth betting in this Sean Payton offense, and we know what he's done with tight ends. I think it's okay to reach out of position for ADP to get Dulcich, considering how much goodwill we bought on ADP throughout this draft.
I agree. I think he's going to smash this year. Dude's a freak athlete. Mooney go okay, yeah. Mooney's also coming off of injury too,
Ankle.
which is a little riskier. Yeah, he's still getting like ramped back up. We'll see. Contract years for both of those guys is also fun.
I gotta say, guys, I don't love the wide receiver room right now that we have.
I kind of do.
We have DK as our wide receiver 2. DK is a sharp pick to be a wide receiver 1 this season. I guess you how good do you think this Seahawks offense is going to be, Keegan? Because I think the Seahawks offense is going to be.
I think that's a top 10 offense.
Really good, really good. How the Lions last year were ridiculously good. I think the Seahawks are going to be really good, and I think DK is going to be a prime. I think he's going to benefit really well from it. I think both him and Lockett. I think
they have all the weapons in place to be good again. It's a bet on Geno. That's all. And I think he had an outstanding season last year, and he's kind of one of those guys that's a bet, but hasn't really had enough opportunity. I still think you could say that his sample size of actual play time is not enough to really formulate whether he's good enough or not, because he's been on such opposite end of the extremes. So maybe he regresses slightly. In my mind, like
he regresses to the what?
Regresses to the mean slightly.
Subscribe, everybody. Hit that bell. Subscribe. Get notified.
But I don't know what his true mean actually is. Like Geno's such a hard one to read, right? So like I'm fine on the bet with him. I just like the Pickens stuff. I don't love. Still got my guy Dotson, so I'm cool. I love Greg here, but we're at a interesting team build here. I wish I had the Hayden Winks underdog. If you guys are into your roster construction, Hayden's done some awesome write-ups about where it's optimal to have a certain amount of wide receivers and running backs in the draft. And I think by my memory, we're somewhere around that optimal range with wide receivers. But
I know who you're looking at, Shaun.
Rondale. I'm sorry, Keegan. I'm like salivating because Rondale Moore is falling, and I'm like, give it to me. Give me him.
I was looking at your face like I know exactly what is going on in that
Keegan
brain.
Was just educating our listeners on some really good shit, and I was just Rondale.
I'm very down for Rondale there.
Rondale there would be okay with me. We don't have any Eagles players. So there's no real Week 17 correlation here. Let's see some other options.
It's just backup running backs and third string wide receivers and a wide receiver 2 on a team that's going to pass the.
I mean, do we have any interest in handcuffing Algier to Bijan like as our 5th running back?
So,
I mean, we're talking about 1,000-yard rusher here in last season Arthur Smith's offense.
I don't know. I mean,
I've done it before. I liked Van Jefferson here as well, to be honest. A wide receiver 2 there. I think he could see sneaky volume. Oh, what are we thinking?
Shaun?
We got to kind of pull.
Oh my goodness, Rondale! I already miss you. I mean, I'm down for either one.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going with Algier because, and there's
people do not recommend doing this. By the way, people hate doing this, but I get it. Like he's good insurance.
It's great insurance, and also if we're betting on Bijan to be part of this outstanding rushing attack, like you can't ignore that Algier like has already a proven role that carved out under Arthur Smith and was very successful in it. And so if we believe in the Bijan offense, my mentality is like we have a share of it every week now. So if Bijan has an off week, someone is bound to have a good one. And then I would go wide receiver here. We could probably still get Van Jefferson. Jaden Reed's kind of a name I like at this range too.
Yeah, I like Jefferson more than Jaden Reed. Did he just go?
Yes.
This is brutal. Juwan Johnson is someone I really like in this range. I
actually
really
do as
like
well.
Juwan Johnson, and we have Jamaal Williams, so we have a weird.
I think I'd
Saints stack.
I'd rather get a wide receiver personally.
Marvin Mims is interesting.
Marvin Mims is a fun one.
Dulcich. Raheed Shaheed is interesting because we already have Jamaal Williams.
I mean, how do you guys feel about
50? We should just take him.
How do you guys feel about MBS at this spot? I mean, that's attachment to Kansas City offense.
I like him for the Chiefs exposure. I'm not in love with him, but it's pretty cheap value there.
Johnson's my pick
DJ
at this spot, but DJ Chark is ADP value.
If we go Johnson here, I'm okay with that because then we don't have to worry about getting a third tight end, and maybe we can hammer out this wide receiver room a little bit more.
That's also true. And let's do that. Let's go Johnson and then just really stack the rest of our picks with running back and wide receiver because we're pretty much done with QB and tight end now.
Yeah, we're done.
So we can eliminate those altogether.
One thing that we need to focus on is we got to find some attachment to Justin Fields here. Obviously,
Claypool.
We want Claypool.
Yeah, I think Claypool's a no-brainer.
He will actually be in our range of picks by the time we're up again. I'll be fine just reaching and making sure we have him on the squad.
Oh, what's our next pick? Like 180?
About that, yeah. Right? It'll roughly be like 175. Yeah. So we'll be...
Yeah, I'd be fine reaching 10 picks on him. Again, I know we've already covered him quite a bit. Getting that stack at that price, I think makes a ton of sense.
I forgot these drafts can take a lot out of you. The Rondale thing has me in shit.
Yeah, Sean, I need you guys to be not getting bummed out by it, or we got to be adapt.
It was splooge city for a little bit here, but it's tough. It's tough with the Rondale, but we'll get the energy up.
We're still getting a ton of our guys too.
Yes,
that I know,
we
like
are.
The three of us.
And I love Juwan Johnson.
Awesome.
Big fan of Juwan Johnson.
I do as well.
You see him running routes.
Really talking about him.
He
studying
Julian Edelman. That's what he did this offseason. Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, very similar builds, very similar skill set.
You couldn't pick them out of a lineup in terms of those two guys.
It's the Spider-Man meme, really, when you look at the two of them.
Oh, yeah, tight end's good.
DJ Chark was crazy value.
Yeah, I took him earlier in a draft today, and I just didn't feel good about it. I felt awful, even though his volume is.
I don't have a ton of interest in.
Look at the Jerome Ford interest getting picked up here.
I
like Jerome Ford. He feels like one of the things that might just be an off season, just myth, but it's fun.
It's easy to believe in it. It's because we've seen Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb have success in the offense, and they didn't go out, they didn't add anybody, they released Kareem Hunt. They're definitely pointing at signs hey, we believe in him. They let Ernest Johnson go.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel I'm pulling at 169 is pretty good value. I like that for that guy.
You love the Commanders, dude, right? Left hand up. Good for you, Keegan.
Dude, who says they can't go from worst to almost first in their division? Not fully because it's very competitive, but if Sam Howell is
the other three teams just feel like they're much better, but I think they're going to be fun. I think they could be a fun team to watch. I think they're going to be in a ton of games. I don't know if that necessarily means it's going to result in wins.
I mean, they have one of the better wide receiver rooms in the league. They have two pretty good running backs. Their defense has been
really good defense,
really underperforming.
Defense,
they just got
it's going to keep them
awesome
game.
Coach. I mean, it could be frisky this year,
dude. The things I would do to take Chase Young off their hands, man.
Jerome Ford only had 14 snaps last year.
That's why he's kind of this off-season.
That's the best part.
Oh
yeah. Let's just say that. That's the best part. What's going on? What's going on in Cleveland? Why are we all talking about Jerome Ford?
Snaps last year, and people are taking him 172. That seems a little divorced.
People are all in.
Wow. He did look jacked at OTAs.
Definitely.
He did. You gotta give him that.
Speaking of jacked, did you guys see Daniel Bellinger? Oh my God. He's getting into PED.
He looked pretty
Those
big.
arms looked like they were blown up like SpongeBob, dude. There's no fucking way.
All right, SpongeBob. Marvin Mims here is a great pick.
I was going to say that. So we probably still have a chance to get Claypool because I don't think people are as high on him as we are. No. So I'd be down to go Marvin Mims here.
Get both of them.
And Chase Claypool. That would be a
cheeky
really
play
cool
also.
Taekwon.
If Marvin Mims is gone, potentially taking Josh Downs if Pittman gets suspended would be interesting, as his ADP will rise.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
But that's like trying to look into the crystal ball.
I don't think he's going to get suspended. I don't think he does.
All right, Bryce Young. I I'm down for Marvin Mims.
I like it.
I'm more so just spitballing potentials here. This is really good value.
I think his path to playing time might be a little hard to start the year, but best ball, he could have some spike weeks. He seems like a real down the field target winner. So
yeah, Sean Payton, I think is very.
It took him in the second round. It wasn't like it took him in the 5th or 6th round.
He was not cheap.
I don't really know how to feel about Tyquan Thornton this year. I'm just like, my Patriots bias leaks into my eyes, and sometimes I need to remove my hate for the Patriots when it comes to fantasy. But I just don't believe in Mac Jones out of that offense.
Yeah,
someo's got to catch
out of the 5 wide receivers.
Juju will catch passes there, and they've got tight ends that can catch passes there.
Yeah, they got Gesicki.
Yeah,
so we're gonna get the Claypool back end stack. All right, did you guys see the news that Gesicki doesn't even practice with the tight ends right now? Hunter Henry was talking about it.
What, does he just hang with the wide receivers?
He's a straight up wide receiver.
That's how he should be. That's how he should have been used in Miami. I don't think Gesicki's a bad player by any means. I think he just got put in the wrong position.
Gesicki's just a tall wide receiver who has no speed and can't break any tackles. He's great.
Yeah. All right, so let's do it. I love how that news was broken by a fellow tight end. Dude, he doesn't even hang out with us.
Yeah, he's doing some inline stuff. Yeah. Wait, so Chase Claypool is not practicing?
Claypool?
Yeah, it's said when we click
on it. Claypool's definitely practicing. No, I've been watching videos of Chase Claypool at GAs.
Matt Eberflus addresses Chase Claypool missing practice. He missed practice last Wednesday? What's going on here?
Dude, it's June.
This wasn't brought to my attention.
He already has a soft tissue injury. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Oh, he's fine.
This time of the year you get some soft tissue stuff, and there's no reason to risk anything at this time. Oh my god, he's already got a hammy injury. Oh geez.
No, we're good. No.
What did we buy?
The brakes, all good here.
With your fear tactics.
Yeah, did we keep a receipt? We need to return this.
Oh my goodness. I'm now, for our listeners, I'm not eating food today, and I am just falling off a cliff. I was sharp at the beginning of this recording, but I am. Oh, I had bone broth and apple juice. That's all I've had today. This is gnarly.
Lucky.
I am fading. Okay. We got to attack running back, right? You did not just say lucky. That is fucking.
I mean, I would only draft one more running back, honestly.
Clyde's free. I know we've talked about this
Clyde
before.
Is free. I'm into that.
Clyde
and then I would go
to potential
another wide receiver.
RB1.
Or how do we feel about the tight end room? I think we talked about this. We like these two. We don't think we need another one. So
unless a really stud.
With a 2.682 here.
If a stud, if a stud tight end kind of just falls to us, I could be intrigued. Who's available?
Conk.
Trying to get.
I don't really need it.
Pull the lever, Conk.
I don't need any of those guys.
We did talk about Mike Gesicki. I mean, Trey McBride is just staring us in the face right there.
He's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Oh, Clyde. Let's do it. I want to do a dance with Clyde every week for the rest of my life.
I think we do Clyde.
I think I'm back in.
Winning $3 million with Clyde on a roster would be pretty fucking funny too.
It's the type of shit that happens though. It's all those people that drafted Zay Jones and Evan Ingram in June last year. They won millions.
Why not? Yeah.
The Jaguars stack. God. It's all those teams that I've stacked Cardinals and Houston Texans players on. It's we're off to the races, baby.
Dude, this is why we have to be in on Dotson and Curtis Samuel this year as they lead us to $3 million.
I mean, you got me on Dotson. I can't believe you were Pickens at 81. You were so over it.
I just am not a fan of the Pickens.
Fine.
You were disgusted.
I'm not the biggest fan either. I mean, not as disgusted as me with Algier. That's best ball criminal stuff is to take the handcuff.
Yeah.
But what are you
That was a case of the board not talking to us. That got ugly there for a couple picks.
Or give us the silent treatment.
Really dark.
Yeah, that was.
We were still grieving with 5 seconds on the clock. Keegan said, "Shaun."
What did I? Oh, it was Rondell. I was just not over the Rondell.
over Rondell Moore. I mean, come on, guys.
I just said, Keegan, you take the pick. Just do it. I mean, it's who cares? You think Van Jefferson was going to win us this tournament? I don't know, man. I'm here for Algier. It's fine.
Dude, just wait until Algier and Bijan both post 20-point games in one singular game together, and we rejoice.
Okay, no, you've been drinking today, huh?
No, I just got done with work.
That would be insane,
dude. Hear me out here. Is Isaiah Likely the tight end that maybe Evan Ingram was last year? Is it Isaiah Likely's year in a new and improved Lamar Jackson offense?
Doesn't seem that likely. I don't know.
I would go as far as say unlikely. Yeah.
I mean, does he have a good week or two if Mark Andrews gets hurt? Yeah, I think so.
He's not even the tight end one there. Evan Ingram was like the bona fide guy.
Considering they just drafted Zay Jones in the first, gave OBJ like the Kareem Benzema like oil money for no reason. And
dude, that deal
is Rashad Bateman. What are they going to run? 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers? What are they going to do? It just doesn't seem that likely that he'll be on the field.
Nice. That was good to wrap that up with saying likely.
What are you going to
do? All right. Who do we got left on wide receivers? Should we take a swing here? Are there any backdoor?
Oh, Paris Campbell. I love Paris Campbell.
I like it. You won't Justin Ross. That would just be nasty.
I will.
Justin Ross would be fun. I'm not.
We don't have any
Justin Ross. Did you see the video of that like Theor touchdown the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Other people are buying it. I'm not.
Okay, well,
just
here,
like,
people. Let's walk through this.
I'm like, no.
Real quick. We don't have any Giants Week 17 matchups. We don't have Giants or Rams players. We have Commanders players. They play the 49ers. We've got
Juwan.
They play the Buccaneers. We have some Bears, Falcons. So we already have that covered. We have Jets,
I know who Shaun's
Browns.
Shaun's trying to go to the Dorcher chamber. For
I'm
sure.
not drafting Greg Dortch.
I'm not drafting.
Okay.
All I do is draft Arizona Cardinals. That's all I do, baby.
All right.
If Clayton Tune is good, I'm going to be a rich
Paris
man.
Campbell, Justin Ross. Maybe Cedric Tillman for that Jets.
I think Paris Campbell's the best.
My pick's Paris Campbell.
I was hoping you guys
look at his projections.
Marshall's on the board.
Look at his projections. He's projected for like 107.
Didn't even flinch.
Like I know projections isn't everything, but like, you know.
All right.
What are we at?
That wraps up our best ball draft. We finished with a 2-6-8-2 build. I'm
actually pretty happy with how this turned out. We got sniped a little bit, but ended up getting some really good value along the way here.
Bijan to Garrett Wilson, DK, Justin Fields. I think our first 4 picks are super strong. I love J.K. Dobbins around here. Tyler Lockett for the Seattle correlation. We've got George Pickens, which, at value, it's a good pick. And then
he couldn't even say it.
And then Dotson, who I like in this area. Geno for the quarterback handcuff.
He said George Pickens.
That was awesome. Yeah, like it was a swear word.
Okay. Let me finish. We double dip on the rookie running back pool. Little Jamaal Williams touchdown hope here. Dulcich, I like that. Handcuff, we hated that. Juwan Johnson, we like that. Marvin Mims, Chase Claypool for the sneaky backdoor handcuff to Justin Fields. A free Clyde Edwards-Helaire and a shot at Paris Campbell. So I kind of like it.
I like it. I think we nailed it, man.
I liked our last 2 picks are, I think, some of my favorite picks right now in all these drafts. Like Paris Campbell is going to be the starting slot receiver, and we saw Daniel Jones just continue to feed the slot receivers last year. I think it's hard considering Darren Waller's going to be in the offense. It's like, do we know anything about this offense? Do we just throw all of last year out because it was just everyone was hurt? But I think Paris Campbell's a great flyer. And then, Clyde, I mean, could he be Josh Jacobs? I don't know, but like,
okay, that's we'll
probably
sign
not.
All right,
probably not.
All right, Grandma, time to put you to bed.
Oh, geez.
Aidan, enjoy the Cubs game. Sean, enjoy the bone broth.
Dinner's gonna be great. I might have a cup of warm piss with dinner. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, treat yourself to some tomato
Treat
soup.
yourself to some
I can't
George
even
Pickens
eat tomato
soup.
soup. I can't even eat tomato soup.
Tough.
It's just clear. It's clear liquids. That's where I'm at. So
all I know is this crypto Jesus guy has got his plan figured out with Sam Howell here in the last bit of the round.
oh my God, Keegan, are you okay? We didn't come home with Sam Howell. Like you must be
all right.
devastated.
He has as many QBs as running backs. This guy needs to seek help. That's a crazy time.
For anyone still listening, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow. RTM Fantasy, TikTok, same handle. Instagram, if that's your thing, same handle. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we'll be posting many more drafts throughout the summer. Folks, I mean, dudes, you got anything to say before we bounce? I called you guys folks. That's how out of it I am. I'm like literally crashing so hard. Anything?
I think we crushed it. Yeah. Stay tuned. We've got plenty more to come.
All right, fellas.